Magandang hapon po muli. This is Jen Galvez for your Vanguard Radio Network special report. Again, broadcasting live from the following FM and AM radio stations.
101.5 Big Sound FM, Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija. 95.9 Big Sound FM, Baguio City. 95.3 Big Sound FM, Kawayan City, Isabela. 100.5 Big Sound FM, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. 105.5 Big Sound FM, San Fernando City, La Union. 101.3 Big Sound FM, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. 88.7 Big Radio, Tagbilaran City, Bohol. 98.5 Big Radio, Lipa City, Batangas. 1395 DWMG AM, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya, and 1188 DZXO AM, Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija.
With us this afternoon ay ang isang batang-batang karerista, professional driver, and car enthusiast. Actually, professional race car driver. O, di ba? Mga kabata. No, wala pa. Mamaya pa po yung basta batas. But let me bring in first Rico John Ferrer from Big Sound Baguio and DJ Piolo from Big Sound Kawayan. Hello, welcome back sa ating special report.
Yeah. Nice to be back. Good afternoon once again sa inyo lahat. Yan.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Before natin tawagin si Mr. Keannu Reeves? Hindi. Mr. Keannu Dominado, diniscuss po natin kanina yung tungkol sa RA 1129 or Child Safety in Motor Vehicles Act with the former Senator J.V. Ejercito, who happens to be the principal author of the law. Tapos in-explain niya kung ano yung bakit kasi nagkalintik-lintik, di ba? May confusion dito sa implementation ng batas. But recently, ngayon, no, just a few minutes ago, and I think earlier, may mga politicians na nag-call for deferment or ipagpaliban muna yung pag-implement ng batas. Sino-sino yan? Sila Senator Grace Poe, Senator Ralph Recto, and I think also who jumped in si Senator Bongo. Then also, marami pong mga mayors ng Metro, at least for Metro Manila, na nagsabi, natigil muna sandali, huwag niyo muna i-implement kasi ang gulo, hindi nga malinaw. Okay, pero, so, ang tanong, Rico and Piolo, ngayong dinefer yung, or pinagpaliban yung yung pag-i-implement ng batas ng Child Safety in Motor Vehicle Act, particularly na to yung paggamit ng car seat sa mga kotse at sa pampublikong sasakyan. Ano ba yung dapat nating gawin for road safety? Yung kaligtasan natin sa daan. Kanina, Rico, dyan, nagulat ako sa sinabi mo na nalaglag yung anak mo sa sasakyan habang maandar, hindi ba? Dahil hindi naka-seatbelt, tama? At walang car seat.
Well, actually, yung sasakyan na meron ako kasi is an old model na usually hindi nila nilalagyan ng seatbelt yung likod na part. So, it's an old model and syempre, maintenance-wise, kailangan i-upgrade yung mga maintenance. Unfortunately, that particular time, hindi siya na-maintain. So, it's an unfortunate event na nalaglago yung aking bunso. So, buti na lang wala ho nangyaring ganun kagrabe. And it made me learn a lesson na talagang importante talaga yung road safety, lalong-lalo na, no? Mula sa driver, mula sa sasakyan, mula sa kalsada na ating tinatahak, and most especially, syempre, sa mga bataso na mag-i-implement ng mga road safety measures na ito. Yun.
Piolo, ikaw ang experience mo dyan so far, as far as road safety is concerned, dyan sa Kawayan, Isabela?
Dito kasi, usually marami akong nakikitang disgrasya and usually nakikita ko na yung mga nadidisgrasya walang helmet talaga. Kaya yun, hindi sila safe talaga pag wala silang helmet. Tapos sa sasakyan din, so ang daming nagsasama ng mga anak nila sa car. So minsan, syempre hindi maiwasan na may disgrasya talaga. So dapat talaga mas safe pag merong ganyan sa car natin.
wala namang problema yung batas, hindi ba? Okay naman, mukha namang maayos. Pero syempre,
Oo.
hihimayin natin yan later sa ating mga abogado, hindi ba? Dyan sa programa nating Basta Batas, mga 7 o'clock. But in the meantime, let me call on Mr. Keannu Dominado. Siya po ay asan ba yung kasal ko dito na ano? Wala na. Sa lista ho ito, di ba?
Wow.
Wow! Gwapong-gwapong bata. Hindi na to bata? Adult na to eh. Mr. Keannu Dominado. He's a professional race car driver. Ang aking ambisyon na hindi ko na yata matutupad. Pasok na natin si Mr. Keannu Dominado. Okay. And he's also a car enthusiast definitely. And he's been driving for 10 years na. Alam mo, maliit pa to. Ano na yan? Car enthusiast na siya. And of course, siya po ay ilang award na ang pinanalo nito sa rally, sa slalom, di ba, Keannu? Welcome to Vanguard Radio Network. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Tita Jen. Hi to the Vanguard Radio Network and to Big Sound FM. Thank you for having me for this afternoon.
Tita talaga.
Formal pa rin, of course. Diba? Okay.
Okay.
And look at that. Parang nasa sasakyan siya ngayon, di ba?
Oo, di ba?
Bumusina mo. Bumusina. Tabi kayo, tabi.
How cute!
Yung mga pasaway dyan ng mga hindi naka-helmet. Okay, Keannu, my first question. Ano ba yung road safety?
Well, basically, road safety is all about, preparations for not just the driver, pero for awareness for what is out there. Kasi when you drive in the public streets, diba, anything or everything can happen. Diba? Wag naman sana, knock on wood. Pero, you gotta be ready for those unexpected moments. Diba? No matter how prepared you are, sometimes it could still happen. Pero of course, for safety, I would define it in one word, it's just preparation. So I will leave it at that.
Professor na professor dating. Nagtuturo ko kasi yan sa Lasal actually.
Grabe. No. No.
Hindi ba?
No, not really. I'm not really the one teaching them, since you need a master's degree before you could teach in Lasal. No? So, it's a process to doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Matalinong bata yan. But anyways, okay. Yeah. So, yung sa road safety na sinasabi kasi nila, alam mo, unfortunately, hindi masyadong naiintindihan ng tao, di ba, Rico, Piolo? Lalong-lalo na and I don't mean this in a discriminative way, ha? Yung mga nasa liblib na lugar, okay? Yung hindi, nasa rural areas. Kasi, alam mo naman na kailangan mong mag-helmet, for example, sa kalsada, pag nagda-drive ka ng motor. Anong masasabi mo dito, Keannu? Bakit sa tingin mo, alam naman nila dapat nag-helmet sila, or I hope alam nila. Pero and yet, alam nila yung danger. Konting ganun lang sa'yo ng sasakyan, di ba, Rico? Tulak, buksan. Alam mo, ito, picture mo ka. Yung motor nandito sa gilid, yung kotse tinabihan siya. Binuksan bigla nung nasa passenger seat. Tumalsik yung sa motor. Patay. Pwedeng mangyari yun, di ba? Bakit hindi ka pa rin nag-helmet? Why do you think Filipinos lang ba to, Keannu?
I wouldn't say it's just Filipinos, because there are also cases, outside of the country, especially. It's actually a worldwide thing for everyone to hear. Kasi in my opinion lang po, the reason why there are just some people who shortcut their preparation in terms of rides, kasi nagmo-motor. Kasi I also ride a motorcycle myself, and I over prepare when it comes to safety. Like I wear a rider's jacket, I wear a helmet, and then a reflectorized gear at night. Kasi visibility is very important. The reason why lang siguro, like in my opinion, based on what I see on the road, is because number one, either nakalimutan or nagmamadali, or convenience, basically. Kung malapit lang naman, di naman kailangan. Kasi all that effort, di ba, just to put those on, I gotta admit, medyo matagal. Medyo tedious, no? Pero, yeah, actually, it's true. Like, for me, more or less 15 minutes just to get all those on.
Wow.
Kilala niyo ba si Jay Ilagan, yung artista dati?
Yeah.
Hindi ba, si Kian natigilan? Hindi na kilala.
Why?
face lang, not the person. No.
Si Rico naman, yeah.
Yeah, oo, nakilala ko siya. Naghahalata ito.
Napakahalata ang mga edad nyo. Okay, di kaya ako nabanggit kasi sinabi ni Mr. Kian na yung iba kasi dahil malapit lang, tinatamad na, hindi na nag-helmet, hindi na nag-gear, di ba? Si Jay Ilagan ho, mga kaibigan, ay dating artista at magbabalik lang siya actually from his village to the, wala pang, ano bang tawag doon? Hindi naman Blockbuster. Yung rental ng video ng Betamax at saka VHS. Ano? Magsosoli lang siya ng VHS tape na hiniram niya.
Uso pa
Natsugi.
naman.
Aksidente. Oo, ganun. So maraming incident na ganun,
So,
Kian.
kailangan kahit malapit lang talaga, kailangan mo mag-helmet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kasi kahit sa labas lang
sa
ng
mga
bahay
tamad.
yun, could happen. Diba?
Oo.
Can
Hindi
never
natin-
tell.
Okay.
Diba?
You have questions for Keannu?
Ako, just want to ask, what with the implementation of the car seat law, no? Well, hindi na-differ pa yung itong Child Safety in Motor Vehicle Act. What's your personal take on this, Keannu?
My personal take on this, sir, I only wish to the lawmakers who are implementing this, please closely revise it really well. Kasi I read through the whole article about it and also the law online, and I gotta say it's very ambiguous. Kumbaga, kung papabasa mo to sa mga Amerikano kunwari or sa mga kaibigan ko in other Asian countries, no, maraming butas eh. Diba? Like for example, the mere fact, number one na nag-strike sa akin is yung age. Like seryoso, 12 years old, papaupuin mo sa isang child seat.
Oh.
Diba? I mean, kasi ako, I'll speak from my experience. I grew up riding with my dad without a car seat almost all my life. Diba? What's important there is a seat belt lang yan at saka yung arm niya in case the brakes go hard. As in, yun lang yan. Diba? I mean, growing up, hindi naman uso sa amin yun dati. Pero right now, actually, based on my trips to the US just 3 years ago, no, talagang for kids until 8 years old, required sila. Kasi sa sobrang bilis ng kotse in freeways and in highways, talagang they can fly out of the chair. Totoo yun. And pag nasa backseat, hindi naman yung arm hindi naman aabot sa likod, 'di ba? Para to stop the kids from flying. No, you can't do that. 'Di ba? Kaya ang sa akin lang, you have to revise it really well and put the age limit, and also height is also a factor here. I can't speak for all Filipinos out here.
Kumreno ka, ha?
Yes, po. Kasi I can't do there. I can't do it. Pero that's just my point.
Ako dito, ha? Kiannu. Order. Okay, tuloy. Ang ligaya.
Pero yun lang po. Pero kasi kasi po in my opinion, my question there for the lawmakers implementing this, sa panahon na to, why now? I mean, we're in the midst of a pandemic where cash is golden, 'di ba? Di mo malaman kung kailan mo kailangan yung cash mo for anything emergency kunwari. Tas to buy a car seat, for example, take a regular Filipino na madla na 500 pesos a day, no? Just to buy a car seat, ilang na yun, di ba? Ilang araw worth of trabaho yun. So, it's actually,
Yeah. But
cost-wise.
correct. But focusing on the road safety issue, you being a professional race car driver, just let me clarify this, Kian, hindi naman sa yung experience mo na with your dad before, hindi naman sa ini-endorse mo, di ba na hindi na kailangan bumili ng car seat or something, basta okay lang ganito. Hindi naman sa ganon. So let me clarify that sa ating mga listeners. But you being a professional driver and a professional race car driver at that, ano ang sa tingin mong dapat i-improve, not just the law, pati yung sa rider, sa public, sa mga nagko-commute, etc. I think Rico John, ito yung gusto mong itanong, di ba? You want to elaborate on that?
Some practical tips actually ang gusto nating itanong kay Keannu. I mean, not everybody is a race car driver, pero
Pero everybody wants to be a race car driver.
Yes, wants to be one. Oo, di ba? Pero it's really different from a racetrack. at yung talagang kalsada natin. What are the tips that you could give sa ating mga
Ikaw,
listeners at sa mga
Pero,
ano?
pero Keanu, bago mo sagutin niya, gusto kong tanongin si Rico, ikaw ba sumusunod ka sa pedestrian?
Oh, yes. Oo naman.
Ikaw, Piolo, tumatawid ka sa dapat tawiran? Totoo?
Sabi nga nila, dapat alam mo yung experience ng isang pedestrian bago ka naging driver kasi nung minsan nasubukan ko rin yan. Tumatawid ako at meron talagang pasaway na sasakyan. So, importante, alam mo rin yung feeling nila eh. Alam mo yun? Para the feeling is mutual.
Oo nga. What's your take, Kian?
My take there really is I would really encourage everyone to take the licenses really seriously, for example, kasi for me that's the barrier of entry in terms of taking the streets. Kasi kahit sa amin sa racing, any driver who drives fast, on enclosed streets can be a race car driver. As in anyone can be there, pero provided there's actual training. Right? Kasi there's always a barrier for entry for anything, really. Kasi even getting inside the car, di ba? Kanwari, like wala pang alam sa car, kailangan dyan turuan. Di ba? Kailangan silang turuan from the start.
Kailangan ang magtuturo ay may alam, di ba? At saka, anong tawag dito, Rico? Yung professional, yung license na magturo ng driving, tama?
Yes, tama po.
Oo, kasi ang alam ko, ang style ng Pilipino is kung marunong yung tatay mo o yung uncle mo siya na magtuturo sa'yo, di ba? Ganun yun. Pero bakit may nakakalusot pa rin sa LTO? Yan, shout out sa LTO. Imbis na kung ano-ano pagsasabihin nyo dyan. Paano naman, Kian?
Sorry. Sige pa.
Paano naman yung tanong ni Rico Jan kanina na sa yung mga kasi it takes two, di ba? Paano yung mga hindi naman driver, yung mga tumatawid sa kalsada kasi ewan ko kung alam ng tao ang pedestrian crossing, di ba? Yung simpleng batas, sino ba dapat yung may right of way? Pag merong yung puti na linya mga kababayan, yung pedestrian crossing, di ba? Sa Amerika ho kasi, from what I know, kapag ang tao, ang pedestrian, ang tatawid, ay tumungtong na yung paa niya doon sa pedestrian lane, sa mga puti, di ba, naguhit, dapat tumigil ka. Ikaw na nasa sasakyan, dapat titigil ka. Kung hindi, huli. Di ba? Tama, Kian?
Yes, that's correct po.
Ganon din ba dito?
It should be. Kasi for me, what the citizens, what I can speak for the citizens, na talagang presence of mind lang ang kailangan. Kasi if you're not going to be taking it from the perspective of you as a pedestrian, take it from the perspective of you in the car. Diba? It would be better, diba, if you were following the designated crossing areas. Kasi they're there for a reason. Dahil malapit lang yung tawiran or yung gate mo, tatawid ka dun sa hindi pwede. Wag naman ganun, diba? Kasi even at work, I work in Taft, where jeeps there are notorious and even trucks at night, diba? Pero the designated crossing areas, talagang they're very well highlighted kasi importante eh. Diba? Pero yun lang po. Presence of mind lang talaga for me ang kulang. Pero it can be a work in progress for many people.
All right. Before I'm going to ask you, Kian, say hi and hello muna sa mga followers mo sa aming comment section. Wala sa followers, ha?
Na isa-isahin mo yan, Piolo. Game.
But before that, may tanong muna ako kay Kian. Okay,
Yes,
as a car enthusiast and of course professional race car driver, what is your advice sa mga nagbabalak mag-drive?
Sa mga nagbabalak mag-drive, for one, you gotta be aware first of what tools are happening in the car. For example, how they work, how they function, and then of course, may practical application which you start driving. All right. I would actually encourage everyone to try out driving on an enclosed environment. Okay. What I mean by enclosed is yung sitwasyon sa loob ng course na yan pwede mong i-control. Kasi let's face it, mga kababayan, pag nasa public roads tayo, wala sa control natin anong makikita mo. Kung may tumawid dyan o kung may lumabas na kotse, di mo control yan. Pero at least when you have a controlled environment na pwede kang mag-practice kung paano mag-primera, paano mag-atras, especially paano mag-park. Diba? Yan ang pinaka-importante. Kasi doing it in an enclosed environment, you can do whatever you want. Or you can do it via simulation if you have a little money, diba? Pero that's one.
Okay.
Yun.
So, ang gusto mo mangyari, practical tips mo in
Opo.
terms of road safety ay yung gusto mo magmaneho, mag-practice muna sa enclosed environment kasi yun yung kontrolado mo, di ba?
Yes. Yes
And
po.
then they will transition to the actual street, ganun ba?
Yes.
And do you recommend?
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Because once you transition out from the controlled environment, you're gonna be having to learn how to be one with the streets and with everyone. Kasi hindi lang ikaw yung nasa kalye, may cashier ka.
Yeah.
That also takes a few days, a few even months to learn. Totoo lang.
Yeah, totoo.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you recommend yung mga driving lessons sa mga driving institutions? Yes or no?
Oh, yes, I highly agree with that.
Okay.
I agree.
Do you also recommend si Manong, si Kuya, si Kapitbahay, si Chuhen?
Tignan. Ako,
That-
i-base ko lang po sa sa mga driving antics. I can never tell kasi one thing I can't ever compete with a lot of people is experience. I mean, come on, I'm 26 years old. I mean, who am I to be listened to? Diba? I'm just a young guy who likes to drive in very fast, in controlled environments, but very obedient on the streets.
So,
That's the bar.
Rico, ha?
Yes.
Kailangan obedient tayo, ha, Rico?
Yes.
And Piolo. Then, and
That's,
lastly,
That's the oath I took po kasi when I started racing na obedient on the streets and you can go all out on the track. Pero
at yung
I'll leave it at
disiplina
that.
naman, yung
Yes.
pagiging obedient mo sa isang controlled environment, yan dinadala mo, nadadala mo yan sa actual na pagmamaneho sa labas,
Yes.
tama? And that's what
Yes,
makes you a professional, a respected and credible professional driver. Last but not the least, sa mga tao naman, Kian, na gustong magmaneho pero hindi naman gustong gumamit ng sasakyan like a motor, yung e-scooter, 'di ba? Nauuso yun dito, my goodness, bisikleta. Ano naman ang mapapayo mo sa kanila na nakiki-share din sa sasakyan na ginagamit ng mga tricycle, jeep at saka ng mga private cars?
Well, number one po, please, I mean this when I say this, protective gear, number one. And number two, pag sa gabi, please, parang awan nyo na, illumination. May ilaw kayo, may vest kayo, kasi kayo rin ang kawawa pag hindi kayo makita ng mga kotse. Kasi ako, maraming times na may mga muntik na, diba? Clear sa bintana ko, pero pagtingin ko sa bintana, may tao pala. Diba? Parang ganun. Tama, if I wasn't able to react that fast, kawawa siya. What more with other people, di ba? Kaya sabi ko, if only he was illuminated, kasi pag nasa side mirror ka, di ba, minsan, kita mo kagad pag may ilaw, di ba? No matter how small.
Yung reflector, hindi ba?
Yes, yung reflector. Or
Kawawa
even
siya.
yung blinking lights. Kunwari.
Yes.
Kawawa siya, kawawa ka din kasi pag nakabangga ka, ikaw ang talo. Kahit na siyang may mali, talo ka, di ba? Ganun ang batas,
Exactly.
di ba?
That's why
Okay.
defensive driving talaga ang way to go here in the Philippines talaga. And even
Right.
everywhere in the world. Yeah.
Tama, defensive driving. Ang dami mong fans, in fairness, ha? Rico, di ba? In fairness. Okay. Alam mo, Rico, yun? Gusto mo pabasa sa kanya? I mean, basahin pa sa mga nagbabati sa'yo dito. Hinakot mo to?
May
Go,
fans
go.
club.
Isang barangay ito.
May fans club din.
Oo.
Nako,
Sabi
may
ni
fan base ba?
Exosha Project, let's go Keannu. Ano daw? Let's go Keannu.
Vivat Angeli. Ay, yeah. Shout out kay Social Project yung nagmamanage sa aming talent collective for streaming on Facebook
Okay.
and on Twitch and YouTube. So, shout out sa inyo. Yeah.
Next. Rico and Piolo, you wanna read some more?
Sabi ni
Okay, Rico, go.
Go ahead. Sabi ni Shinjiro Yuzawa, let's go Daddy Keannu, sabi.
Yes, shout out kay Shinziro connecting all the way from Japan. Wow, grabe.
Wow!
Domo arigato.
May Japanese audience kaya.
Okay. Sabi naman ni Yul Lamson, Big Sound Baby. Bilisan lang natin, ha? And then, of course, si Marvin Tag. Sino to? Job
Si Job Besmonte. Yes. Shout out sa'yo.
And Sally De Vera, hello daw, sabi niya. Hello Daisy Durupan there. Ano? Ano pa?
I think that's for you po.
Okay.
Sabi ni Marvin Mena, haha, beep beep.
What? Beep, beep, beep.
Ano, sabi? Ano,
It's,
sabi ko?
okay, this one. Ayan. Haha, bip bip.
Okay.
I think yung
Bilisan
yung
natin.
by Sir Rico.
Let's go,
Ah,
Papi
Paolo.
Keannu. At saka sabi naman daw ni John Christian Duarte, agree with Nico. Tapos hi din, sabi daw ni, sino to si Paulo, sino? Paulo Gosyangtan? Gosyangtan. Let's go, Papi Keannu. And then Rico sabi ni Nico Duarte, Child Safety and Vehicles Act won't make sense if the Primary Basic Vehicles Act isn't that polished to both lawmakers and for those who must follow the law, I guess. Tama,
Thank
ito
you.
naman yung sinabi din ni Keannu. At nagpapa-shoutout din si Julian Abirin. Shoutout po, MV Gallego, Toda, Barangay Zulweta, Cabanatuan City from President siguro, Julian. Sir, magandang hapon at tama nga, alam mo sana yung mga TODA i-contact ng LTO, 'di ba? At saka yung 'di ba para for the information dissemination hindi lang media. Then of course, tapusin ko na lang 'to para we can go ahead, no?
It one is then from Cabanatuan City. Go
Correct.
Kian! Hi to all our friends. Just on 101.5 Big Sound FM Cabanatuan City. Hello.
Yes. And then sabi of course, na hindi mo kilala to si Jillian Micah, hindi mo kilala. Come on, Keannu.
My favorite cousin. God, shout out to you.
Oo nga, and I think sabi ni John Dominic Dominado, hindi mo rin to kilala. Go Keannu mo, follow Big Sound FM. Okay. Alright, maraming salamat, Mr. Keannu Reeves Dominado. Oh.
Keannu Reeves.
Bira kang bata ka. But thank you very much. Those are very nice practical tips. Diba? Mas the practical, the better. Kasi yun naman ang kailangan natin. Hindi natin kailangan ng mga sophisticated na usapan, di ba? Kailangan natin practical. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, Piolo, for joining us. This has been your Vanguard Special Report for, of course, Vanguard Radio Network. Ako po rin po, si Jen Galvez. Pakinggan niyo po ulit kami mamayang gabi, 7 o'clock, dito lang sa Vanguard Radio Network for Basta Batas. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Keannu Dominado. Good afternoon, Pilipinas!